Madam Chairwoman. When we come out of this if the modeling is correct and things we've tried to do are correct, by about the middle of 2010, we'll be back at GDP level of 2007. But we've lost $1 trillion in our economy. And if GDP growth then begins to be 2.5% per year, which is what it averaged between 2001 and 2007, it'll take us 3 years to soak up the $1 trillion that we've lost, because that's what it shows in the modeling. It's about $350 billion a year. In short, we won't even recover the loss capability if we just get back to the decade of growth of GDP this year. And this year we're going to lose 4.5%. GDP, Japan's going to go up 6.8% GDP. The point of this is that unless we are able to really energize our economy above its typical growth, we aren't going to make it in any real time. So I'd like to just talk about venture capitalists for a moment and ask a question, if you don't mind, ma'am. Can you talk about a bit about what you think the impact could be if, in one part of this effort to try to not just stimulate our economy, we've got to get it going about 4.5% if we want to be back and beating China's kind of competitiveness pretty darn soon. Can venture capitalists through the SBIR, can they play an important role in that? Even the SBIRs aren't that large. They've got a lot of money. What's that impact upon their portfolio if they do have access to this? Because to me, it just seems like a real opportunity here for the common good to get us going if we open this up again to the venture capitalist community.
The SBIR and STTR programs, as you note, is probably not a significant amount of money when you compare it to what they're actually going to need to bring a product to the marketplace. It's the leveraging that it plays a huge role in. And so these companies who are able to get phase 1 and phase 2 and phase 2B, or for our agency, a competing renewal, and further their progress into some of the clinical studies that are necessary, that's when individuals become more venturesome and will start putting additional dollars into those projects. And then those same companies may have, as I mentioned, additional ideas in their pipeline for which the SBIR program is perfect because they have not taken them through that necessary feasibility study. And then we continue to see the dollars go into those projects, and those that show promise get furthered along that commercialization pathway to get attraction of additional investments. So this is a cyclical process where SBIR has in the past played a large role. It has the potential to play a very important role for these types of companies that need to raise the finances.
So you'd be a proponent of it? If I could ask you, Mr. James, there has been some discussion that potentially certain sectors should be focused upon. Biologics, for example, from start until you get that product out there is about $1.2 billion. To your point, ma'am, about the cost of it. Should we not just let them in, but should we also try to focus this? I mean, people have been talking here about retooling our economy in the midst of things in healthcare or energy or things like that. Should there be a way we look at it that way with venture capitalists, or just kind of leave it as it is? Because sometimes agencies kind of say, come here, SBI, help me do what my programs already are, rather than maybe being quite innovative and entrepreneurial. And again, I go back to the reason why I think it might be a good idea, which is how do we quickly soak up the $1 trillion that we've lost? 2.5% growth is unacceptable for the next 5 years.
As you know, DOE has a loan program, and I've been trying to work with our loan program to get them involved in looking at small businesses and see what we can do to fast track loans. I don't know how that's going to happen, but I presume your question is: do you think do we believe that venture capitalists could play an important role in the SBIR program? Is that what you're asking?
Should we try to focus it upon certain types of sectors? most venture capitalists seems to be concentrated a lot of times in California, Massachusetts. That's demographics. But should we be looking at sectors such as health or energy?
Well,
Or should we just let them in and let the cards fall as they might?
I think my experience has been that the venture capital community is not all that interested in our program. Our phase twos are limited to $750,000, and that doesn't seem to.
All right. How about,
interest
if I could, I only 1 second left. Miss Goodright, what would you say? Good night. I'm sorry. Apologize.
It's okay. It's important.
You understand why I'm asking? Yeah.
I do. I'm trying to phrase my question from where I sit. So venture capitalists, as I understand how they play in this game, they put their money into a number of different sectors, whether it's biomedical, whether it's energy, whether it's IT. It's where the hot technologies are, and it's where they see that they're going to get a return on their investment. Now, that may take a number of years, and certainly from the SBIR companies participating in the program, to get them to that stage, it is 5, 7, 10 years down the road. On the IT side, however, it's a very short turnaround. So it's a number of sectors where they are investing in, and
So you'd let it open. Thank you. And did you feel the same way about angels?
I believe angels are doing the same thing. They're investing in technology areas
Thank you.
that are broader than biomedical
Thank you. I do too.
research.
Thanks.